Unlikely Friendships by Judith Lipsett. Introduction. Birds of a feather flock together. In the animal world, this old saying is usually true. It means that living things form groups with others that are most similar to themselves. Sparrows live with other sparrows, not with hawks. Ants live in colonies with other ants, not with spiders or ladybugs. In nature, you are not likely to see wolves living peacefully with rabbits. However, this is not the whole story. Different species of animals do often live near each other in the same tree or gather around the same pond to drink. Still, just because a squirrel and a robin share a tree does not mean that they are friends. Symbiosis. Wild animals sometimes help each other out in a relationship called symbiosis. The word symbiosis is from the Greek words for with and living. It is a scientific term that describes relationships from which both organisms benefit. For example, giraffes and other large mammals in Africa are helped by little birds that ride on the large animals' backs and eat insects. The birds, which are called oxpeckers, also chirp loudly when enemies of the larger animals are nearby. In this relationship, the birds get meals and rides, and the larger animals get relief from the insects, along with an alarm system. An oxpecker does not form a faithful friendship with just one giraffe, however. Any large animal with ticks is just as good as any other. So even though animals in a symbiotic relationship help each other, it does not seem correct to call them friends. When animals live together in captivity, relationships can form that seem much stronger than would be possible in the wild. For example, many people who own both a dog and a cat know that these two types of animals can get along well with each other, even becoming good buddies. Sometimes these relationships are surprising. For example, there are stories about female dogs that become mothers to motherless kittens, piglets, or, at least a few times, tiger cubs. They feed and clean these strange babies as if they were their own puppies. Also, young animals that have had scary experiences, such as running away from a fire or some other danger, will often stay close to other animals, no matter what kind, after they are taken to shelters. Are these animals really friends, or are they just confused? People who study animals believe that different species really can become close to each other. Recent scientific studies have shown that animals have feelings. Experts now believe that animals can experience love, anger, fear, sadness, and other emotions. Animals that are social, that is, animals that already live together in groups or families of their own species, are the most likely to become friends with other types of animals. Even animals that people usually think of as enemies can become friends if they meet when they are both still young. This book is about unusual animal pairs, plus the story of a horse with a whole collection of friends. These friendships started for different reasons, but they have all captured many people's attention. There are websites, books, and movies about some of these animals. They have even been guests on television programs. Why do we humans find stories about these animals so interesting? In all of the stories, the animals behaved like true.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?